a chance to talk about you.
There's one time during the course of the race that all four of us were running 1, 2, 3, 4. Me, Dale Jr., Steve Park, and Dale.
Pretty impressive. All three of them DEI cars up there in the lead.
I've been in so many things in the last 25 laps. I wasn't thinking until the last couple laps and see what happens. You just try to position yourself up there where you're in that group and try to be able to make something happen, or if something happens, you can capitalize on it.
It's the big one. It's what we've all been fearing. This kind of racing is going to happen.
A horrible crash on the back straightaway that began when Tony Stewart got turned sideways against the backstretch wall number 20.
You know, it just seemed like the lid was about to bubble off of this pot here, and it just seemed like with that event, we thought maybe eliminated enough cars to make it come down to where we knew who we needed to race and how we were going to be able to accomplish this.
A lot of good cars got taken out in that big crash. And so when the cars are stopped on the racetrack over on the back straightaway, not only are we catching our breath, but so are those guys. And at the same time, they're strategizing.
We pulled to a stop on the front straightaway, and I'll be darned. I looked in my mirror, and I was leading the race. Dale and Dale Jr. were right behind me. And I thought about his plan, you know. I know he's a great race car driver and a champion, but this is crazy what he called out.
Junior was sort of philosophic. It was kind of strange because he got on the radio and told the crew, he says, no matter what else happens, he says, let's be thankful, because he said, we've had a great week, we've had a great race, and we're so lucky that we missed that crash.
I remember him coming on there, and I can't remember if it's before or as soon as the wreck happened or during the red flag, but he said, Richard, if they don't do something to these cars, it's going to end up killing somebody. That kind of always sticks. That's one of the things I can remember, and I don't remember at what point he said that, but it was after Tony's wreck.
The 2001 Daytona 500 had already revealed the brutal nature of the day's close-quarter bumper-to-bumper banging and bumping. In the final laps, Dale Earnhardt would battle not for victory, but to protect his team.
Green flag.
There's one point during the race after the red flag where I felt like he let me in line. And I remember thinking, that's never happened before. I know he's never let me in line. I don't think he's ever let anyone in line.
You got to have nerves of steel, folks, to see what these guys saw just now. These cars all flipping and flying through the air and hop right back out there just like it never happened.
I was leading the race. My car was handling perfectly. Dale Jr. was pretty safe as well because he had Dale behind him, and Dale was just pushing Dale Jr. and me. So us two had it made, basically, and Dale was in a mess.
Whoa! Look at Earnhardt. Sterling got into Earnhardt.
Dale is doing everything he can to keep Sterling behind him because Dale knows that Sterling's got a fast car.
You never saw Dale Earnhardt Sr. do anything but drive offensively. But in the closing laps of that 500, we saw him on defense. You know he wanted to win another 500, but I think he was going to be perfectly content running third that day.
This is when we're going to find out. We're coming around for the white flag.
And I thought, if this motor doesn't blow up and the tires don't blow out, I'm going to go down there and make 2 lefts, and I'm going to come back and win the Daytona 500.
Make that back straightaway wide, buddy. Get all over the place. Come on, man. Come on now. Watch the mirror. Watch it. He's going to make a run inside.
I kept trying to tell Dale Jr., just stay on Michael. Sterling started coming, 36 started coming, and all of a sudden there was a lot of activity around Dale for third place.
That boy.
3 wide behind them.
You got him, Mikey. You got him, man. You got
last lap at Daytona. Everybody's arguing over space, trying to get your nose in there. If you get your nose in there, maybe you can make the rest of it fit. All of a sudden, I saw his car cut left, and I said, this can't be good.
Come on, get him in the four. Get him in the 3 cars out. Oh, big trouble. Big wreck behind them.
Lead them back. Come on.
To the flag.
Come on, Mikey. You got it, man. You got it. You got it. You got it. You got it.
Michael Walsh wins.
Oh, man. All right. That's a television dream come true.
And he's about to get the best ride in racing.
Man.
To Daytona 500 Victory Lane. Darrell, is this better than winning it?
Oh, it's better. This is great. I was hoping Dave was okay. I guess he's all right, isn't he?
Our car came to a rest. I'm thinking, wow. I said, I'm going to go over and just shoot the bull with Dale. Mikey and Junior run 1-2. He got crashed protecting third on the last lap, so he's not going to be in the best mood, but he's not going to be that friggin' mad. So when I went up to the car and took the window net down, I knew he was in trouble. I mean, I knew right away he was in trouble, and I signaled for the emergency crews to get there like quicker. And they were there quick, but just quicker yet. And I just knew he was in trouble.
I remember when I seen the wreck happen, I just jumped down off the toolbox, yanked my headset off because I knew we had a good shot at winning, and put my headset back on and hollered at Dale. I said, Dale, you all right? You all right, Dale? 2 or 3 times. He never did answer me. So I turned over to Mike Skinner's channel and I said, Mike, stop over there. They'd done took the checker by that time and was headed down the backstretch. I said, stop there and make sure Dale's okay. Make sure it just didn't undo his helmet and got out. Let me know if he's out of the car or whatever. Skinner come on there. He said, you better go to the infield care center. He said, boy, he doesn't look good.
We just kept waiting. Come on, climb out. Come on, help him out of the car. Come on, get him out of the car. He's got to go to Victory Lane. You got to get him out.
Junior got out, and again, I don't know quite his thoughts at that point, but his thought was, we're going to go to the medical center, the care center in the infield, and see Dad. Junior went in, and he went through and just caught Kenny Schrader's eye just for a split second, and he said it was really then that he knew that something was seriously wrong.
I go to the bus, I get Teresa, Jimbo, the bus driver's with us, and that's when they just got the new infield care center, and we went into there. Not really thinking, anything. We get there and they're taking him straight to the hospital. So now we're getting antsy. Okay, something's up.
Richard came in the infield care center, and you're sitting in there, and you got the little curtains and stuff, and Richard those curtains. What's the deal? I probably turned white, and he said, how is he? I said, that ain't good. And he said, you mean like we're gonna be out for a while? I said, oh no, buddy. It's we got bigger problems.
Kenny wasn't himself. He was just as pale as he could be, and he said, took a few deep breaths, and he said, look, I'm not a doctor. They had released him from the care center. He said, I'm telling you, it don't look good. It don't look good. And at that point, my heart just fell, and So Judy and I got in the car and headed to the hospital.
We get in a car and get a police escort to the hospital. We're going back roads around the turns.
I said a lot of prayers on the way to the hospital. That's all I can say.
While we're dealing with that, somebody's won the race and he's going to victory lane.
Started celebrating what I thought was the greatest day ever in the history of NASCAR, and especially in my history. I mean, it was perfect. Everything went just like Dale said it would, and I couldn't wait to see him.
Michael Waltrip drove to the winner's circle to celebrate victory in the 2001 Daytona 500. How could he have known that the seminal moment of his career would be forever shrouded in tragedy?
It was amazing. People that didn't know me a month before, now we're all standing in victory lane celebrating winning the greatest race in the world. Everything was just so cool, and it remained that way for probably 20, 30 minutes.
We kept watching on the camera, and this looked bad. And you can tell by the people around the car, even though it was in a long shot. Then the ambulance came up, and then Dale was taken out and placed in the ambulance. And then we watched the ambulance going to the hospital. And the ambulance was traveling virtually at walking pace, which meant either a broken back or death.
Okay, another subject. Michael Waltrip finally gets his first win after all these tries. Any reaction?
I'm very happy for him. I just wish he could enjoy it a little more because his boss is not there to help him.
Okay, we just got word that they had trouble riding Dale.
While Earnhardt's driver Michael Waltrip celebrates, Dale Earnhardt rides the back of an ambulance to the Halifax Medical Center.
The last thing you want to do is overstate the drama of the situation, and yet you don't want to understate the possibility that things could go really bad.
I was in victory lane, and everybody, obviously, it was a lot of celebration, a lot of happy people, and everybody seems to be just overly elated, and Michael's got the trophies, and Michael's being Michael. What was beginning to be more and more odd is no Earnhardt was there.
And I remember thinking, where's Dale? I mean, how come he's not here yet? And Dale Jr., how come he's not here? I'm sure they're coming, right?
John Graham, who is the president of the racetrack, came over and he said, hey, who's going to accept the owner's trophy? And I said, well, Dale will be here any minute. Just Dale or Teresa, somebody will take the trophy. And he says, no, this is Dale's. They're taking Dale over to the hospital. So for the owner's trophy, John basically did the victory lane interview with me, and then he had me stand in the pictures. As soon as we got done with that first photo, I looked over and Ken Schrader walked into victory lane.
Mikey, he just won Daytona 500. And what a big deal. That was such an important moment for him. I love Mikey like a brother, and I wanted to tell him what I thought the deal was.
He made fun of me all the time, you know, about not winning, and finally there's somebody I know coming to say congratulations. I saw him and I said, can you believe it, Schrader? I won the Daytona 500. And he just grabbed me and said, it's not good. And I was like, Well, it's not really that bad that I won the Daytona 500, is it?
I just told Mikey that, you know, that I was awful happy for him and stuff. But no, listen, Mike, we got a big problem here. I'm extremely worried about Dale.